Hey YouTube, Scapegoat here, and we have a new theme for the Secret Slayers pack. We have one of the three themes revealed, and it is the rock theme that also has a synchro tie-in to the archetype. I think they're called Adamatia or something like that. That's how I'll pronounce them. So it's a rock type theme. It's one of the three in Secret Slayers, and it revolves around synchroing, and it kind of looks like a Final Fantasy type of archetype. So let's just get into it and look at it. So we have Adamatia Seeker. He's an Earth Rock Tuner, effect monster level 2 with 1200 attack and 1000 defense. You can only use the 1 and 2 effects of this card's name once per turn each. If you control an Adamatia monster except for Adamatia Seeker, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards from your deck, and if there is a non-tuner level 4 or lower rock monster among them, you can special summon one of them. Also, place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's kind of looking like Sylvan's in a little way. Sylvan's also had some capability of synchro as well too. So that seems pretty cool. You get some sort of pseudo tour guide effect off of it, where if you have a rock among them, I'm assuming you special it, and then you go into a tuner synchro type of play. Needle fiber, that's also an option, I guess. So the next one is Adamatia Researcher. Earth Rock Tuner, effect monster level 2, 100 attack, 2100 defense. You can only use the 1 and 2 effects of this card's name once per turn each. The first effect is if you control a rock monster except Adamatia Researcher, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it seems like that's the recurring theme. They special summon out of hand. And the second effect is during your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. And if there's a non-tuner level 4 or lower rock monster among them, you can special summon one of them and also place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So the last one was the same thing, similar. You can special summon that, and then you can special summon. Yeah, so they're seeming like they're pretty similar in archetype themes. So the special summon from hand, and then the special summon from the excavated cards. So that's pretty cool. I think the difference is just the fact that, I don't know, just like their attack and defense, kind of. So that's pretty neat. And then they have the level 4. You can only use the 1 and 2 effects of this card's name once per turn each. It's also an Earth Rock Monster Tuner, level 4, 1500 attack, 700 defense. And then as a standard, if your opponent only controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's kind of like a Cyber Dragon effect. And during your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. And if there's a non-tuner level 4 or lower rock monster among them, you can special summon one of them. Also, place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's looking like you can summon pretty much any rock monster that is level 4 or lower. It doesn't have to even be the theme card. And I'm pretty sure the other ones had a different special summon condition. If you control a rock monster, except that you can special summon it. This one relies on your opponent, and this one relies on having another Adamatia monster. This one relies on having a rock monster, and then this one relies on opponents. So that's the theme among them. They kind of all have similar effects. Yeah. Alright. They all seem pretty good so far. You can definitely see some shenanigans going on here. And then apparently they have more monsters, looking like a Crystal Beast type of thing going on. Adamatia Crystal Leonite. Kind of looks like a tiger. You get the pun. Fire Rock effect, level 4, 0 attack, 2200 defense, so it's a big boy defense. You can only use 1 and 2 effects of this card's name once per turn each. If this card is special summoned by the effect of an Adamatia card, you can place one Adamatia card from your hand or graveyard on the top of your deck. So you can kind of rig the top of your deck for the mills and special summon what you want off of the other effects. So that's pretty cool. The second effect being, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one fire synchro monster you control or in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, place this card on the top of your deck. So that's also kind of manipulating the deck to special summon this card again. And these are the non-tuners, apparently. So these are the ones that'll work with these guys to synchro. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see the next card. It's a wind one. It is Adamatia Krista Raptite, and it looks like it's a raptor or something like that. You can only use the 1 and 2 effect of this card once per turn each. If this card is special summoned by the effect of an Adamatia card, you can place one rock monster from your hand or graveyard to the top of your deck. And the second effect is if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one wind synchro monster you control or in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, place this card on top of your deck. So it seems like they have the reoccurring theme for the crystals to be placed on the top of your deck by returning the appropriate synchro monster back from the graveyard and into the extra deck. The first effects are the ones that are looking kind of different. The red one relies on Adamatia monsters to be placed from your hand or graveyard to the top of your deck. And this one relies on rock monsters, which I think is pretty similar to their summoning conditions. Maybe? Yeah. So that would mean there's a blue one, of course. So there's an Adamatia Krista Dragite, and it is a level 4, 0 attack, 2200 defense, water rock. You can only use this card's 1 and 2 effects of this card's name once per turn each. If this card is special summoned by the effect of an Adamatia card, you can draw one card, so that's different. So drawing cards pretty good. Get that off of the little ones, little tuners, and the level 4 tuner. If this card is special summoned by the effect of an Adamatia card, you draw one card, so we read that. And then the second effect is if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one water synchro monster you control or in your graveyard. Turn that target to the extra deck and place this card on top of the deck. So the second effect is the same across the board, pretty much. The first effects are different. Pretty similar to the tuners. So with that being said, these are the synchros. So let's see what they have in common and what they do. So Adamatia Rise Leonite is a fire rock synchro effect monster with level 6 and 2400 attack, 2200 defense, so it's pretty decent stats. One tuner plus one non-tuner monster. You can only use the 1 and 2 effects of this card once per turn each. And during your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there's an Adamatia card among them, you can add one card from that to your hand. Also place the other cards in the bottom of your deck in any order. So adding a card is always good, so that's pretty fair. And the second effect is during your opponent's turn, if there is a fire monster in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target one rock monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So immediately, that went from an okay card to a really good card. So, depending if your opponent has a fire monster, and if they're playing Salamangreat, they will have a fire monster, you will get to special summon a rock monster. And there is no level restriction on the rock monster. And these synchros apparently do not have anything to do with only being able to be special summoned via synchro summoning. So you can summon the synchros out, you can summon other cards out. Looks pretty good right now. So let's look at the wind card. Adamatia Rise Raptite. It's a wind rock synchro effect monster, level 6, 2200 attack, and 2800 defense. So it's got really good defense stats. One tuner plus one non-tuner. And you can only use this card's 1 and 2 effects once per turn each. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there's a rock monster among them, you can add one of those cards to your hand. Also, place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So very similar to the other effect, yep. So it looks like their one effects are the same, and their second effects are going to be a little different. During your opponent's turn, if there is a wind monster in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. I read the last effect wrong, I guess. You have to have a monster in your graveyard that's a fire. So, and it's during your opponent's turn. That's where I messed up. So having a fire monster, all that's going to be easy to meet the conditions, obviously, because the crystals are those colors plus the synchros. And any other tech rock monsters that you can play that have different attributes. So this one banishes a card in your opponent's graveyard, so that's pretty good. It's pretty relevant, especially against Orcust and Salamangreat. It's definitely a relevant effect, so that's good. I think the red one right now is the best one, so let's look at the blue one. The blue one is Adamatia Rise Dragite. He is a water rock synchro effect monster, level 8. 3000 attack and 2200 defense. One tuner and one non-tuner. You can only use the 1 and 2 effect of this card's name once per turn each. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there is a rock monster among them, you can return the cards your opponent controls to the hand up to the amount, and also place the excavated cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. So let me read that again. You can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there is a rock monster among them, you can return cards up to your opponent controls to the hand up to that amount. So depending on how many rock monsters you excavated, you can return that many to your opponent's hand. So that seems pretty good. Yeah, wow, that's actually a really good effect. It's a good board clear, so they have that going on for them. And the second effect is during your opponent's turn, if there's a water monster in your graveyard, when your opponent activates a spell or trap effect, quick effect, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So that is actually really good. Wow, their boss monster is pretty good. I'm assuming that is their boss monster. It's the highest stats and has the best effect. Being able to negate spell and traps is one of the most relevant effects. And being able to return all the cards on your opponent's side of the field is also very good as well. So, yeah, I would say the blue one actually is the best one among them, and followed by the red one, and the green one's pretty good. So they're not looking too bad. They're looking like they're high mid-tier / meta deck. So let's just look at the spell cards now and see where we're going with this. So we have Adamatia Rapitutite. Oh man, I butchered that. So all rock monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. So not only do they have their base stats of 3,000 and 2,200 and all of that, they're gaining an extra 500 on top of that. So they get a 3,500 level 8 synchro, which is very good for them because they can crash over a lot of things in the meta. But even their 2,200 becomes 27, and then the 24 becomes 29. So a lot of the big beaters are not very big anymore. Especially if you're summoning these, they have very high defense. 2,200, they become 2,700. This becomes 2,000 attack. This becomes 2,600 defense. It becomes a very annoying deck to deal with when they have all those stats. Kind of reminiscent of Gravekeeper back in the early meta, when Gravekeeper Spy had 2,500 attack with Necro Rally on the field. So the second effect of the field spell is once per turn, you can take up to 5 Adamatia cards from your deck and place them on top of your deck in any order. So every turn, you get to manipulate the top 5 cards of your deck and mill them. So you're going to be able to manipulate what you're milling off of all of those cards to special summon, what you're doing with the effects of these cards, and pretty much manipulating how you play the game. That's always a good card. I'm pretty sure Sylvan's had a card similar to that and was really good. This deck's similar to Sylvan's, apparently. So Adamatia Sign is a normal spell card. You can target one rock monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Then if you special summoned an Adamatia card by this effect, you can place one level 4 rock or lower monster from your deck on top of your deck. So what this acts as pretty much is a monster reborn for any of your rock monsters in your graveyard. And if you special summoned a Adamatia card with this effect, you can essentially tour guide / Rhoda any card in your deck utilizing the effects of the Adamatia monsters, because they'll either summon it or add it to your hand or do whatever. So it's really good. So these two cards are actually pretty good. So then they have a trap. Adamatia Relieve. You can tribute any number of Adamatia monsters, then target that many cards +1 on the field and destroy them. So it seems pretty similar to Salaman Great Rage minus the link effect. But that seems pretty cool. Like a Icarus attack / Salaman Great Rage. It kind of looks like Rage a little bit. But tribute any number of Adamatia monsters. So wondering, I'm not too certain, but if you contribute them from your hand as well, that might also be beneficial. But it doesn't say you control. That's why I assumed that. So that seems like a really good card. Plus you get the +1 off of it, so you're always going even, if not more. It's always good. And then they have a counter trap apparently. It is Adamatia Resonance. Counter trap. If you control Adamatia Synchro monster, when a monster effect is activated, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So they were given a counter trap to go with their Wind Water Synchro, who negate spells and traps. So they have access to negating every sort of card. That's actually really good. So they're looking like pretty high mid-tier or meta deck, apparently. Depending on what we can mix it with all the other archetype rock cards, we can see what's going on. But given a counter trap and all that stuff, they got some pretty good cards. And I saw another card over here. Doki Doki is also reprinted in this pack, which that's not a new card. However, that is a card I would recommend for the deck. I have it up top here. But for cards that I would recommend for this deck that kind of just browsing into talking to my friends with, we have Gorgonic Gargoyle. It's a card that when you normal summon a rock monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. It is a level 3 rock monster. It's a dark, so it doesn't have any synergy with the attribute effects. However, you can definitely synchro with that card with the tuners to make a 5, to make a 7, and a 5. So depending on how relevant that is, I'm not really too sure. But definitely helps you get stuff on the board, maybe even make links. Doki Doki, which is the card that was reprinted in that pack apparently, is you can discard one rock type monster and special summon this card from your deck. You can discard one rock monster, special summon from your deck one rock type monster that has the same attribute and level as that monster in face up attack or face down defense position. You can only use this effect of Doki Doki once per turn. So yeah, I messed up a little bit, but whatever you're discarding, you special summon the same level and same monster or whatever. So that kind of works. There's synergy with that, with if you're discarding this one, and you can special summon this one. Apparently, that's what I'm getting. So if you've already summoned him and you have another copy in your hand, you can get that out. So that's pretty cool. Similar with the with the stones, I think too. Pretty sure. So that's pretty cool. You can only use it once per turn, and then it's a level 2. So yeah, you can even discard itself and summon one of the level 2s as well. Then you can make a synchro level 4 or an overlay of 2 with exceed. You can do a lot of different things. And depending on the Adamatia mills, you can do some more stuff. So that's also a very interesting card. Then they have the rank 4 Gallant Granite. 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach one material from this card. Activate one of the following effects. Add one rock monster from your deck to your hand, so it's a Rhoda. Special summon one rock monster from your hand in defense position, face down defense position. And you can only use the effect of Gallant Granite once per turn. So obviously the adding a rock to your hand effect is pretty relevant, especially if you're putting cards in your deck like Nibiru. You can search out Nibiru. That's pretty neat. But you can search out anything from here, and you can overlay that obviously with the crystals and the regular monster tuner. The next one is a Synchro, which does work with the synergy and their archetype. It's a water monster, so you're getting the procced water effects off of it. It is Coral Dragon, a tuner and a non-tuner, level 6. Once per turn, you can discard one card, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. So you're going to get destruction out of it. And if this card is synchro summoned, sent to the field from the graveyard, you can draw one card, and you can only use each effect of Coral Dragon once per turn. So if you make a 6, and then followed by that, you go into a 8, namely this guy, you'll be getting some destruction off, and also fueling a graveyard with the attributes necessary to trigger the effects, as well as drawing a card. So a lot of good synergy there with Coral Dragon. That seems like a good pick. And obviously Brionac. A lot of people know Brionac, obviously. Level 6 monster, 2300 attack, 1400 defense. One tuner, one or more non-tuners. You can discard any number of cards to the graveyard, then target the same number of cards your opponent controls. Return those cards to the hand. You can only use the effect of Brionac, the Ice Dragon with the Ice Barrier, once per turn. So similar to the Ice guy, I think, returning all those cards to the hand. So a lot to think about in this deck, and obviously there's Block Golem too, the little reoccurring rock guy who comes out and is very annoying in Gem Knight FTK. Obviously there's him. So there's quite a few cards, but I have very high hopes for this deck. It looks really cool in art style. It has really good effects as opposed to the last few Dark Savior type packs that we've had in the past. So this is definitely one of the archetypes to look at in this set. I'm not too sure what's coming out in the next of the next two themes in Secret Slayers, but this looks like it's going to be the best one. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below what you guys think about the deck, other tech cards that you want to throw into this deck, or what would be good for this deck. So let me know. Comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.